Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Well, it's time to do some troubleshooting on this Commander GT Pro. For those that aren't familiar with what happened, you might want to check out this video where I was unboxed the video, and I took it at the end. I took it for a ride to there was a Night Riders barbecue and little ride, and I gave it to Roger, and he was on his way to do some speed runs with it. He was probably going to be going, I wouldn't be surprised, 50 to 60 miles an hour on this wheel, and it died on him when he was going about 35. He probably got pretty close to face planting, and I'm really thank you, Roger, if you happen to see this. No, it wasn't your intention, but I'm glad it was you rather than me, because with me, I don't know, I might not have been able to recover, and I might have face planted. He was going about 35 miles an hour. It seems like it's a Hall sensor type failure, because the control board still works. You turn the wheel on and it shakes violently, so that's really matches a Hall sensor failure. And he was able to recover when it started doing that, stop and get off the wheel. I have a feeling I might have face planted, and who knows what would have happened. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up the wheel, and I'm going to inspect the connection with the Hall sensor to the control board. Maybe be lucky and that connection is bad, because that would be an easy fix. Of course, that wouldn't be very encouraging in terms of quality control. And if it's not that, then I have to think it's most likely the motor, and that's going to be that'll be a whole nother video of getting a motor and installing it, which is something I don't particularly look forward to doing, since it's not even my wheel, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, let me bring in the camera, and we'll investigate how to get into this wheel. First thing to do would be to remove these top bumpers. Okay, and I can see all these screws along here, and they're all Phillips. I really wish they wouldn't use Phillips anywhere on these wheels, because they don't last that long. One quality escape from Extreme Bow was no screw in this location. Let's see if this pops off now. It's not popping off. You know what, I'm trying to remember I think I have to remove the trolley, this trolley handle, if I remember, from the Commander Pro. Okay, let's open this guy up. Pops right off. Looking at build quality, This isn't great, guys. No gasket between this and this. Any water, there's no lip or anything. Any water would just go flow whoop, right into here. And then one of the screws was missing. Of course, that's easily fixable, but you know, $4,000. So just broadly looking in here, 2 speakers, goop all over the place. This wheel is not built for maintenance at all. The battery cables, the pass-throughs, there's no gaskets that I can tell, and they're all encased in goop, which is just a pain in the butt to remove and to do maintenance on. It's really, it's awful. Power distribution board, EX30, 168 volts. Now that's interesting. That kind of implies that there's a 168 volt version of the EX30 coming down the line. That's cool. It says 2023, December 18th, 2023. So I think there's some new EX30s in the pipeline. That's really cool. But yeah, okay, so this wheel is absolutely not waterproof, and do not ride this in the rain without covering the top of this with some kind of a rain cover for sure. Maybe I'm not sure, from the back, from the underside, the water could potentially get through these holes that the trolley handle screws into. I don't know. I don't know. I just look at this and it doesn't exude quality, the build quality, and I just think goop is unacceptable in 2024. Come on, guys, let's move. It's not acceptable. You should move it away from. Galway's not, or Begot's not doing that anymore for sure. They've moved away from it. Only place you should see goop is maybe some screws like these, and you know, a couple of the connections like the hall sensor connection to the board. All right, so I'll disconnect the batteries, and then I'm going to have to let's see if I can remove this board to get access to the hall sensor. Okay. Before I disconnect the battery, I wanted to show you something. I have the latest Begot app. It's got all the settings, and if I look at the battery pack information, there's nothing, no cell information. Trying to determine if this really has a smart BMS. According to the specs it does, but nothing is showing up here. So reaching out to Extreme Begot, Extreme Bowl / Begot to find out you know, what's the story here. I'll let you know. Okay, nothing is moving with these 4 corner screws removed. I wonder about these. All right, using my mirror, kind of looks like they're just the same spacers underneath here. So I'm going to remove all these screws. Still nothing budging. Okay, so found out a little more information. This control board, this display board is connected a different method I'm used to. There's each corner has a connection. That's how they're doing the electrical connection to the main board. And there's goop. So there's no screws holding this board in. I've cut the goop. There. Well, once you know it, it comes off. At least you don't have to deal with connections. Okay. Now I'll be able to maybe see the Hall sensor connection once I find it. All right, here is the Hall sensor connector. I'm going to cut away that goop and I'll just disconnect the cable. Take a look at the pins, everything. Probably reconnect it, turn on the power, and see if the behavior changes. I think I may have found the problem. Hall sensor goop at the bottom of this pin, and then if you look on the inside here, here's the mating connector, goop in that pin. So I'm going to see if I can clean that out as best I can. I don't know. And see if that resolves the problem. But sure, it does look like it. And if it is, then I think these are going to need to be inspected on all the wheels coming out of them, because whoever did this, I mean, that it's just it's likely to repeat itself, don't you think? Okay, it's the next day. I took a break from this, and I want to give you the update on what I've discovered through my troubleshooting here. So when I last left you, I had shown the goop on the Hall sensor connector on the ground pin, the bottom one, the black wire. And what I did is I removed this part of that connector so I could get in to these pins, and specifically, again, the ground pin, because it definitely had goop along the edges. I glued some 240 sandpaper to the screwdriver here so I could go in here and scrape the four sides to get the goop off that. And then I took a pin and scraped the goop from inside here. And meanwhile, I was testing the wheel periodically to see if it made any improvement, and it didn't. I felt pretty good that I got all the goop off. So then, what I did as a test is I took a piece of wire here, and I put a little loop on that wire, and I wound it around the bottom pin, the pin that had the goop on it. So I wound it on the base of that pin. Then I took the connector here and reattached it. Then I used my meter and I probed the other end of the wire coming out from the base of that connector, and then I jammed this on the upper side of the connector, and I got continuity. So basically that just showed that the pin on the control board was making contact with this electrical conductor. So with that, I concluded that even though it sure was coincidental, it looked like the goop was the problem, it's not. The problem is with the motor. So then, I'm going to leave this right here. Then I did my last test, and I learned this during my V14 troubleshooting of that motor, which turned out to be a bad motor also, the Hall sensor. This is a simple test to do. You can test your Hall sensors. The wheel needs to be on when you do this. The connector is attached. The black is ground. The red up here is providing power to the Hall sensors, and there's 3 Hall sensors. The yellow, blue, and green wires here. And I believe this is, not positive, but I believe this is 5 volts. So you got 5 volts ground, and then what you do is you jab your ground probe into, so you're touching the conductor, and then you probe this on each one of these. So you start here, you push this in, the wheel's on, and you will see either 3 or about 3.5 volts, something 0, 3, 3.5 volts you'll see on each one of these. And then you move the wheel. You just, like what I did on this one, is I just pushed the wheel a little bit forward and back. And you should see your meter voltage vary between 0 and 3.5 volts in kind of a smooth fashion. And if the Hall sensors are bad, you won't see that. You'll see either it won't be 0, 3.5, or it'll be very erratic. And that's what I was seeing on this. Well, there you have it. Troubleshooting of this GT Pro. Just wanted to bring you along in case you're curious on the process. So I've obviously communicated this with eWheels and also with Begode, and they agree that I need a new motor. So I'm getting shipped out a C38 motor. I believe it's for a Master, but that will work. The cabling is a little different, but they're longer. So fortunately, there's tons of space in here. Master doesn't have a lot of space for extra cabling, but here, no problem. Look, I'm still not happy with the excessive use of goop in here, and particularly I don't think that's great to have so much goop that's pouring into the actual electrical contacts for the Hall sensor cable. Sure did look like it was a problem though, but never make assumptions. Try and follow through and be methodical. So I feel very confident that it's the motor. All right, well, this concludes part 1. Part 2, you will see me take the wheel apart, take the wheel out. I get to do a tire change, and I guess that'll make for some interesting content if you want to see what's involved in doing that with this wheel. If I have to pull out these battery cables, that's not going to be fun because of all the goop that we're going to have to remove. But that'll be in part 2. All right, guys, hope you found this video entertaining, educational, useful, and until next time, safe riding.